This week, President Donald Trump signed an executive order aimed at dismantling the Department of Education. The full closure of the department would require an act of Congress, but still, the plan has some parents concerned about the impact it could have on their children. CEO and founder of test prep company Prep Expert Sean Patel joins me now. Sean, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, first, there are so many questions swirling about the possible closure of the education department. What concerns are you hearing from parents?
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion right now with the Department of Education layoffs and ultimately the new executive order that calls for the full dismantling of the department. With respect to parents, they're really worried about what's going to happen with K through 12 curriculum funding as well as testing standards in the future, because the Department of Education enforced many of those measures, including very important ones like Title IX and civil rights protections on how educational institutions handle discrimination and accessibility policies. The good news is President Trump and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt have noted that the core functions, such as civil rights protections as well as financial aid, will remain intact. So that was a big sigh of relief for many people this week.
How could, moving some of these programs, these financial aid programs to other agencies, perhaps interrupt that process, maybe slow that process down?
Yeah, definitely. So the Office of Federal Student Aid manages what's called the free application for federal student aid. So that's the application that students applying to college fill out to get federal loans and federal Pell Grants. Now, that office currently is under the Department of Education. President Trump has proposed moving that to the Small Business Administration or even to the Treasury Department. So I do think students will see a disruption. Most likely, it will just be a slowdown in terms of getting customer service and disbursement in terms of getting their questions answered for their loans. I don't see student loans disappearing at the federal level because they manage currently $1.6 or $1.7 trillion worth of student loans, and those loans are guaranteed by Congress. So it would take an act of Congress for those loans to disappear. So hopefully that's another sigh of relief to parents and students applying for college.